Bump, 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 bump. Ooh, 20 minutes ago he posted a new Brie Larson video. Let's do this, and then we'll move on. Gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I just realized at the top of my head is sunburned, so that'll be fun. So we've got some new news on Captain Marvel 2. Apparently, Brie Larson is very concerned about being overshadowed. We also are told who exactly will be the villains in the new movie, and the original director from Captain Marvel 1.
Do you have a Brie Larson body pillow? Or is it just,
One has spoken out about being replaced. Lots of news. I'm not going to bury the lead.
Ooh, that's a better one. Or are you saving yourself for her? I'm stealing that. Thanks, chat. Oboe one with 100 bits. You know it's Brie Larson, real doll, not a body pillow.
We know this source. We know it's We Got This Covered. We know that.
I don't know if you want to upvote my comment, but here's a link. I know it's stupid and petty, but hey, you know. You take what you can get in 2020 in regard to the little joys you find in life.
That it's probably a 15% chance that it's actually real, but they have.
I have no idea if he deletes comments.
I've had things right in the past, so we'll just approach to cover news on this website with that same disclaimer. It's still unclear when exactly we'll see Avengers 5, but that doesn't mean some of Earth's...
Probably quite a while off. They gotta introduce Shang-Chi, who's probably gonna be an Avenger. They're gonna introduce the... Oh gosh, the Eternals. I don't know if they're gonna be kind of their own thing who work with the Avengers, sort of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, or if they'll outright be Avengers. It's gonna be a while. But the main Avengers, I think, now are gonna be, you know, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Hulk maybe in like a mentor role, but he got injured at the end of Endgame, so I don't know if he'll be actually in, you know, combat or anything. Shang-Chi will probably be an Avenger. We still have, I think, Hawkeye exists in the universe, though again, I don't think he'll be in the main Avengers movies very often. Scarlet Witch, yeah, I was forgetting about Scarlet Witch, and if Vision comes back in WandaVision, because that's going to be a show. Maybe the Vision will be back. I don't know.
Mightiest heroes won't be getting together again before that. In fact, we know Captain Marvel 2, the second solo outing for Brie Larson's Carol Danvers, is going to be something of an Avengers movie in disguise. The Direct reported the other week that Captain Marvel 2 will feature Miss Marvel, and
oh, cool. That's Kamala Khan, I think.
Alongside her, several other important heroes. Well, Miss Marvel's not an important hero, but that's, I mean,
she is. She's one of the more popular, newer Marvel characters. So, no, that's just factually wrong, Jeremy.
Not going to nitpick. And the MCU will turn up in the pick. In fact...
Oh, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, yeah.
According to the Direct, the sequel will go down a mini Avengers theme. Presumably, then, there will be a lot going on in it, and it could take some cues from Captain America's Civil War.
That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind a Captain Marvel movie that includes a bunch of other heroes. Captain Marvel operates in space, so if she ran into the Guardians of the Galaxy, it would kind of make sense, although Captain Marvel operates in the Milky Way galaxy, and the Guardians of the Galaxy are from the Andromeda galaxy, so that would be a little rough, but, you know.
Sandwiched in between Avengers Age of Ultron and Avengers Infinity War, the beloved threequel introduced several key new faces into the franchise and also set the stage for the end of the Infinity Saga. Now, this isn't a bad idea. I think this is probably Disney and Marvel hedging their bets a little bit.
Jeremy, would you say the same thing about Captain America Civil War? Because Captain America, especially the second Captain America, was incredibly popular, and yet Civil War, which was the third Captain America movie, was basically an Avengers movie, right? So if Captain Marvel 2 has a bunch of Avengers in it, or has several Avengers, introduces Miss Marvel, maybe introduces some other, secondary B-tier Marvel heroes, that's not necessarily hedging their bets any more than Civil War was. It's recognizing that, hey, Captain Marvel made over $1 billion. It's like the 23rd highest grossing movie of all time. We should use this as an opportunity because a bunch of people are going to see the second one to introduce some characters like Miss Marvel, who's probably going to be in, there have been rumors that they're going to do a Young Avengers movie, which will include, Miss Marvel, Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie, who becomes a superhero called Stature, who has, Ant-Man suit powers, or the Wasp, whatever. Some other people, I'm not sure who the entire cast would be, but, there have been rumors of this, and if they start introducing those elements in Captain Marvel 2, it's because they have confidence that Captain Marvel 2 will be seen by enough people that people will have those seeds planted, so when they do a Young Avengers film, then people will go and see it because they understand who these characters are.
Deciding that, maybe Brie Larson's Captain Marvel isn't enough to carry a whole franchise. But it's interesting, though, because, the movie itself made over $1 billion, so...
Yeah. I think it was, 1 point... Let's take a look. Captain... I'll take any chance to show this off because Jeremy was so wrong on his prediction. Captain Marvel box office. 1.128 billion. That's a lot. 23rd highest grossing movie of all time.
Outside of the box office, I'm not sure what else you're looking at. I don't think...
Let me see who's in the Young Avengers normally. I'm not really familiar. Young Avengers. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Oh, God. Okay, so we have the other Hawkeye, the person who gets trained by Hawkeye, which that's going to be in the Hawkeye Disney Plus show. She is. So she'll probably be part of the Young Avengers. We have, I forget her name. It's like America something. She's like a superhero. And then I don't recognize any of these other people. Is that Amadeus Cho Hulk? They might introduce Amadeus Cho Hulk. Because his mom is already in the MCU. She was the Asian woman who did the cradle in Avengers Age of Ultron that built the Vision body. That's Amadeus Cho's mother. So they might introduce Amadeus Cho, who becomes the Hulk at some point. Yeah, I don't recognize a lot of the people from Young Avengers. So we have a Hulk. We have this guy who I don't recognize. This guy I don't recognize. Hawkeye. Or if she has a different name, she was trained by Hawkeye. I'm not really familiar. I actually have the graphic novel for Hawkeye that I haven't read. Oh, yeah. Captain Marvel, the other Captain Marvel. I think her name's Monica Rambeau. Could be wrong.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Squid with 10-bit says, "Oh no, prepare yourself for a million videos about the female Hawkeye and why she shouldn't just be called Hawkeye that Jeremy is going to do." True. Can't wait for the movie starring Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and Kamala Khan. It'll make them mad. True. True. They were talking about doing an A-Force movie, too, at some point, which A-Force is like a team of Avengers that's all women. So it's like, basically imagine the scene from Endgame where they did the whole she's not alone scene and it's like all the women superheroes, but a whole movie. I think Jeremy might have a heart attack. if they're doing a Young Avengers movie, it would kind of make sense for Peter Parker to be someone who helps him out too, considering he's an experienced Avenger, but he's also on the young side, so that would kind of make sense. If he was sort of a mentor to the Young Avengers, that'd be kind of cool. It'd be a nice role reversal where, you know, Iron Man was his mentor and now he's starting to mentor some younger heroes. I think that'd be kind of nice. Anyway, that's enough nerdiness.
If I'm Disney, I'm not so worried unless they really think, like I thought, sandwiching it in and marketing it as required reading for the end of the saga might have inflated the number.
Hulking and Wiccan are a gay couple in the Young Avengers. Oh, people are going to freak out if they do that in the movie. People are going to freak.
But that's neither here nor there. Captain Marvel 2 could do something similar as well by giving Miss Marvel her first appearance on the big screen and possibly even setting up the formation of the new Avengers. But
yeah, that's cool. It's a little bit like in Civil War, they introduced Black Panther, and then Black Panther got his own movie later. I like doing that. I prefer that to your traditional, like, superhero origin movie, because we've seen so many origin movies in the last decade. Like, we get it. Tragic backstory. They get powers from something. They initially misuse the powers and learn their lesson from it. A threat arises. Oh, they beat the threat. They take responsibility and answer the call to action. Like, we get it. We get it. All you needed, Black Panther was done perfectly. He's in Civil War. You get a little bit of T'Challa before you introduce Black Panther to kind of understand he's the, like, prince of this nation, Wakanda. And then he just shows up in his Black Panther costume, and you see him do cool shit, and you're like, okay, I get it. I get it. They go a little more in depth in the Black Panther movie, but, like, the basis is already there. We understand. We get the character. He's like a cool, like, warrior guy. He's from an African nation. It's like, you get it. You don't need a whole movie just to explain that shit. I prefer the Civil War Black Panther method of introducing heroes.
Amidst all of this, Brie Larson wants to ensure that the focus stays very much on Carol Danvers, as it's still her movie. According to sources close, this are the same ones that told us Taskmaster would be the main villain in Black Widow, so they were right about that. And John Wick 5 is happening. That was also right. And Netflix is developing a Witcher prequel. That was also right. So they've had some recent information correct, all of which turned out to be correct. Larson has expressed concern to Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios that she will be overshadowed in Captain Marvel 2, given all that's going on plot-wise, and all the prominent characters who are...
That could mean a great variety of things, and based on how out of context people have taken Brie Larson's comments that are on video, I don't necessarily trust a source trying to say how she feels about something that we don't even know actually happened.
...are set to be involved. Again, this doesn't make a ton of sense to me, because Miss Marvel is not only a brand new character in the movies, but a ultra niche character from the comic books.
So is Black Panther. That movie was also super popular. So was Iron Man. Iron Man wasn't a popular character before the movies. This is how the MCU has worked, by introducing characters that were not as popular and then making them popular. Thank you for following. So were all the Guardians of the Galaxy, true. And even like Captain America. People knew who Captain America was, but he was basically a fucking joke. Right? Even that first Captain America movie is a little Like, I enjoy it, but it's like a little okay, this is Captain America. He's like a star-spangled dude. You get it. But it wasn't until like the second Captain America movie that people were like, oh, okay, this is good. Steve Rogers is actually an interesting character.
That continues. Not to mention the fact that Monica Rambeau is said to have a large role.
Oh yeah, he did also say it's niche, despite the fact that it's the 23rd highest grossing movie of all time. Very niche, Jeremy.
In the project too, something else which Larson is reportedly worried about. I don't necessarily believe that either. I don't believe Miss Stunning and Brave, We Need More Representation in Film is worried that Monica Rambeau has a bigger role in her film.
Yeah. That would contradict the kind of person that she is. At least you acknowledge that, Jeremy. That's good.
Again, that's what they're reporting. I don't necessarily buy it. To be fair, the Room Star, these are all valid concerns. After all, this is still a Captain Marvel movie and does need further to develop Carol and her arc.
I assume it'll be like, again, Civil War, where the point of view character, your protagonist for the movie is Captain America, but you still have other points of view present, and you introduce a bunch of new characters like Spider-Man and Black Panther, you know? I think that's pretty simple. I think we all understand this. It's already been done before and done very successfully. Civil War is like one of the better, I think, Marvel movies in terms of like, how do I put this? At least Earthbound. I think Guardians are some of the better Marvel movies overall, but like, Civil War is pretty good if you're looking for like, here's Marvel, a bunch of Marvel characters doing stuff. Civil War is pretty darn good.
I agree with that. One of the biggest things that I hate DC for is how they gave us such a great Superman origin story.
What? Man of Steel sucked. Jeremy, no. Man of Steel was awful.
Under the Henry Cavill era, and then just immediately jumped the shark to Superman versus Batman. Like, we could have taken 10 films of a Superman character arc. We didn't need Batman to sell tickets. It was a huge mistake. Batman didn't need Superman, and Superman didn't need Batman. So that
I do agree with that. If they were gonna do a DCEU, you need to introduce every Justice League member in their own movie, and you can kind of have hints of the other ones in the other ones, and have maybe some, you know, stuff going on. You can have, you know, you could even have in a movie like Clark Kent at an event being a reporter, and Bruce Wayne's there, and you can be like, oh, we know who that is. Like, it's fine. You don't need to do Batman v Superman right off the bat, though. That was very stupid. Especially the trash fire that was Zack Snyder's vision for it.
I mean, that film was just stupid. But at the same time, you have to trust Marvel knows what they're doing. They've successfully pulled off many crossover films at this point and know how to balance things. I mean, just look at Infinity War and Endgame as...
This is pretty much where I'm at with it. Hey, I'm sure at some point the Marvel movies will start to suck a ton. That's always going to happen at some point in any film series if it goes on long enough. But so far, I mean, we haven't really been given reason to think that the movies are going to suck, right? I mean, if you already don't like the Marvel movies, that's perfectly fine. I understand. Like, they're a very particular kind of movie, and if you're not into it, you're not into it, and I totally get that. But, like, if you're a fan of that kind of superhero movie where it's just kind of like a fun thing with quips and sort of Joss Whedon-esque humor, all that kind of stuff, then they've been consistent, right? It's the McDonald's cheeseburger of movies. They're not amazing, it's not Citizen Kane, but they're consistent, and you're going to get entertainment value in almost every single one. So, that's kind of how I see it.
Proof of that. Well, this looks like Showbiz Cheat Sheet also seemed to pick up the exact same story, so maybe they have an interesting... they might have the same source, because this is the exact... You know, they're using We Got This Covered as the source. We know that the actress is set to lead the MCU. Larson's reported concerns are valid, given that Captain Marvel's the main character in the upcoming sequel. Larson also knows her worth as an actress, as she brought the name recognition to the role after winning the Academy Award for her leading role in The Room.
In Room, not The Room. Have you guys seen Room? It's really good. I think it's on Netflix or something. Check it out if you haven't seen Room. Really, really good movie.
Since Larson has joined the franchise, Captain Marvel grossed over $1 billion.
Although if you don't know what Room is about, don't look it up. Don't Google it. Just watch the movie. Just go watch it after this stream. And don't look anything up about it before you watch it.
$1 billion worldwide, becoming the first female-led superhero movie to earn $1 billion. Is that true? I don't...
Yeah, I think Wonder Woman was under $1 billion. I think it was close, but I don't think it was. I could be wrong. Wonder Woman... box office. Yeah, 821 million. Wonder Woman did not breach $1 billion. In fairness, probably because it was tied to the DCEU. Even though Wonder Woman's one of the better DCEU movies, I think the good ones are like Shazam and Wonder Woman. I don't like any of the other ones. I like Joker, but that's not in the DCEU. It's kind of its own thing. But yeah, Wonder Woman, decent movie, entertaining. I like it, but it's not as good as Captain Marvel. Like, I mean that. And Captain Marvel isn't even like one of the best Marvel movies. It's a pretty standard superhero origin movie, but I like Brie Larson in it. I think it's a fun movie, and I like seeing Samuel L. Jackson being aged down, and I think that stuff's cool. But like, Wonder Woman was still a DCEU movie, you know? It's not that great.
I think that's true. Didn't
Birds of Prey? Oh yeah, Birds of Prey was okay. What's the best Marvel movie? Ooh. My personal opinion, probably Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2. I'm not sure which. They're both really good. But I think those are the best standalone movies. Like, you can watch those movies on their own and not know anything about the MCU and be like, oh, wow, these are, like, entertaining, well-thought-out, well-acted, fun, you know, sci-fi action-adventure movies. In terms of, like, MCU stuff, maybe Civil War is my favorite, but that's, like, you gotta give a shit about the characters, otherwise it's just like, who the fuck are these people? Why the fuck do I care? Like...
Didn't Wonder Woman make
Ragnarok is also pretty good, but again, it requires your knowledge of sort of Thor and where his place is in the story at that point. And Infinity War and Endgame I like quite a bit if I bundle them together.
more? They were over $1 billion, right? Oh, 821 million. Oh, okay. Still, both films were wildly successful, but yep, okay, looks like they were right about that. In March 2019, the Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige revealed that even before Larson proved to be a successful fit in the MCU, she was meant to lead the franchise, saying, "When we found out that Brie Larson might be interested in joining our world, we had a number of meetings. She was a huge fan of the character in the comics, doubt it. One of the highlights of my..."
Why do you doubt that, Jeremy? Why do you doubt that? I don't know, but I have no reason to doubt that. I get it. Of course, every press release from a studio is going to be like, oh, this actor loves this character and wants to, like, whatever. But, like, she is kind of a nerd, right? Like, she's talked about wanting to play Samus, you know? Like, so she does like some kind of nerdy stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if she liked Captain Marvel.
Career at Marvel was introducing her at Comic-Con and having her come out on stage.
If I could play any superhero, who would I want to play? Oh, God. Let me see. I'm going to have to look at a list. List of Marvel superheroes. Maybe She-Hulk. She-Hulk would be pretty rad. I obviously don't have, you know, the body for it, but fuck it. CG me. CG me into She-Hulk. Or maybe one of the X-Men. Oh, Invisible Woman, maybe? That wouldn't be bad. I'm gonna say She-Hulk. It's gonna be my choice.
Literally almost everybody from
Ooh,
everyone
Squirrel
else
Girl. Squirrel Girl is fun. Or DC. I'm not really a huge DC fan, so I don't know a ton of DC characters. I know, like, the Justice League, but I don't know a lot of the extended DC stuff. I'm more of a Marvel fan. Like, most of the comics I own are Marvel stuff. And I have, like, a subscription to the Marvel Now thing where you can, like, read comics on your tablet or whatever, but I don't have one to DC. I don't know, I just like the Marvel Universe better. Devious Chillster with 25 bits. I want Baja as She-Hulk just so I can imagine her throwing a Mountain Dew truck at a bad guy and saying, "You've been Baja blasted."
movies. There she was at the forefront, and she had a great foreshadowing, not just for now, but how audiences are going to embrace Brie and the character, but also how Captain Marvel is about to take the lead and be at the forefront of the entire cinematic universe. Well,
I mean, she's one of the more powerful Avengers, but I imagine her, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Scarlet Witch are going to be sort of the main Avengers moving forward. And Doctor Strange. But, like, yeah, she's, like, the most powerful in terms of physicality. In terms of, like, outright ability, probably Scarlet Witch, but that's because she has reality warping powers, at least in the comics. I don't know if they'll bring that into the MCU, although the promotions for WandaVision definitely look like it's going to be reality warping WandaVision trailer. I just want the actual trailer. I don't want people talking about it. Not images, videos.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Feminist critique with 10 bits. I appreciate the DC TV shows way better than the Marvel ones. Young Justice, Batman the series, Teen Titans, but Marvel definitely has the leg up on films. Nearly every single Marvel movie is watchable and most are enjoyable. DC movies as a whole are awful except for 2 or 3. Agree. I agree. The DC shows are good, especially the animated ones, but I also like Titans and The Flash and stuff, so... Here's a trailer they did for the for the MCU TV shows they're doing. This is from The Falcon and Winter Soldier. We have the Falcon basically practicing with the Captain America shield he got.
It's time.
That looks like it's going to be probably sort of the origin of the Falcon they're going to get into. Oh, there we have, oh god, what's his name? Baron Zemo? We have Baron Zemo back for Falcon and Winter Soldier. There's the Vision.
Welcome home.
Ooh, I like that we get Wanda in her...
Wanda, welcome home.
Oh, I missed it. Dang it. Hold on. Let me see if I can... Oof, classic Scarlet Witch costume. I love it.
Vision residents.
Like, this definitely looks like she's doing some kind of reality warping thing after Vision dies. Like, she wants to bring him back, so she brings him back in this, like, sitcom universe. Oof.
Vision residents.
This is not Captain America, although he's going to claim to be. This is, I think, a U.S. agent who's going to be an antagonist in Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think. Because basically the government is going to try and appoint a new Captain America, even though, of course, Steve Rogers decided that his friend, the Falcon, whose name I'm blanking on for some reason right now, even though he's supposed to be Captain America, the government's going to be like, no, this guy's Captain America. Of course, he's going to turn out to be kind of an asshole. And they're going to have to fight over it. And I assume by the end of Season 1 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Falcon will basically prove to everyone, like, I deserve to be Captain America. Sam Wilson, thank you.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
I am very excited for the MCU TV shows. I love the MCU.
It's going to be disastrous if they want to put Captain Marvel as the head of the Avengers. Now, maybe...
I mean, it would make sense in the same way that Captain America sort of being the leader of the Avengers because he has military experience and he's a good leader. She's in the Air Force, and she's incredibly powerful, so it kind of makes sense for her to be the tactical leader of the Avengers. I don't think that doesn't make sense.
I mean, you have Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange right now. I mean, are you just going to ignore Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, and Thor?
Iron Man's dead. Did you see the movie? Iron Man is dead. Spoilers for the most popular movie of all time. Iron Man's dead. Thor's off-world, fucking around with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Hulk is, like, injured. He'll probably still be in the movies, but I don't think he'll be a main character.
Thor? I mean, are we just going to put them in the back seat now?
Probably, because I think a lot of those actors and actors... Well, no, actors. There have been a lot of female characters in the MCU, at least from, Phase 1. A lot of those characters, because the actors wanted to leave, are gone now, right? Mark Ruffalo will still probably hang out for a while, but I'd imagine at some point even he'll want to, head out and no longer be a part of them.
I suppose if you say that, still Spider-Man is way more beloved than Captain Marvel ever.
Spider-Man's like 15 in the MCU right now. He's not going to be the leader of the Avengers. He's a child. What are you talking about? Like, Eventually, will Spider-Man be like the head of the Avengers? Maybe, at some point. But he's like 15 right now. That would make no sense.
Never was and ever will be. Now, power for power, Captain Marvel is vastly more powerful than
Oh yeah, and Natalie Portman, Thor, might become part of it. True.
Spider-Man. So from a power
You
standpoint,
think Scarlett Johansson will stay a bit longer? I mean, she's dead. Black Widow's dead. The new movie that's coming out about Black Widow is a prequel. Unless they plan on keep making prequel movies, which I don't think they will. She's gone after this. Or unless they bring her back from the dead, which I guess they could. But it would kind of... I don't know. It would be kind of lame, I think, if they brought her back after she made the sacrifice to get the Soul Stone.
I suppose I would buy that. But from a fan standpoint, I just don't see Captain Marvel films selling as many tickets as Spider-Man films. So it's going to be...
What? Let me see the difference between Spider-Man... I don't know. Spider-Man Far From Home box office. It made... Captain Marvel made almost exactly the same amount of money. Captain Marvel box office. $1.128 billion versus $1.32 billion. There's barely a difference. They made almost the exact same amount of money. What are you talking about?
Very interesting to see, if Kevin Feige was just blowing smoke there, or if he really thinks that's the plan. They're also reporting that they've decided on the villains from Captain Marvel. This out of 2 days ago. Now, the sequel beginning to take shape, we're starting to learn a bit more about the story might involve, and among other things we've heard, that Marvel's reportedly settled on who they want the main villains for the film to be. According to sources close to the sequel, blah, blah, blah. On one side, we'll have Vernique, Queen of the Skrulls, which makes sense, who appeared in the comic book as early as the Skrull Empress, and has a hand in the events of the Secret Invasion storyline, in which some of Earth's mightiest heroes were replaced by imposters, and appearing alongside her to cause trouble for Carol Danvers will be the Lunatic Legion, a fanatical Kree group with some pretty dodgy ideologues about race superiority. Oh, Bree's going to love that. Together...
Dude! Oh no, relevant social issues in my comic book movies? That doesn't make my PP hard. Jeremy, people like relevant issues to be in their movies. Chill the fuck out.
These two will act as the main threats in the film, we're told. At least that's the plan right now. Things can always change, though, as the project continues to develop. Well, again, this seems like a weird thing to know already. I'm not a film director, so I don't know how things work. Or, I mean, I'm not in the industry. But they literally just announced their film's director, like, a week ago.
Okay.
So, would they decide the villains before they write the script? I guess, yeah, you probably would. So,
I mean, it would depend, not necessarily. They can say that they're going to work on a movie, get a director that they trust and, like, know their work, hire them, and then finalize the script. Script revisions go on quite a bit into pre-production, right? And then you finalize it, and then you start shooting the movie, and then you have a long post-production period. Like, especially in a movie like this that's part of, like, Disney's, like, assembly line filmmaking process, they could, like, build sets and have everything ready without necessarily knowing exactly who the characters are going to be. Like...
So that would make sense. And these villains obviously would make sense for Captain Marvel. I mean, you wouldn't have her fighting against Magneto. I mean, it's just, there's only so many that would seem to fit.
That'd be rad. I can't wait till they introduce the X-Men to the MCU. That's going to be awesome. We'll finally get a good X-Men movie. And I know, there have been decent X-Men movies, but, like, eh.
But if
I want to see Magneto fight. Ooh, I want to see Magneto fight Black Panther. Can Magneto fuck with vibranium? That'd be fun.
If you keep in the Captain Marvel lore, I think that makes sense. And then, ultimately, now the original Captain Marvel director has broken their silence on Nia DaCosta helming the sequel. Now, Nia DaCosta has directed absolutely nothing of note.
She did a smaller independent film, and she did some TV show work. This isn't out of the norm for Marvel as of late. James Gunn was doing stuff for like Troma, and he did some other projects, but then he got brought on for this big movie. Taika Waititi had done some small works in independent movies, or at least smaller movies, and then they brought him on. This has been Marvel's MMO for a while. When they hire new directors, they try and find a smaller, less seasoned director who's put out good work that they can then bring into this big billion-dollar franchise so they can boss them around a bit. You know, they don't have the clout to sort of throw their weight around, while also getting someone who is proficient at their craft. It's a smart business decision.
She has directed Candyman, which we haven't seen, which is a Jordan Peele production. Jordan Peele has steadily declined in his production quality in Hollywood.
No, Jeremy, you've said this multiple times. He literally made one movie you didn't like. That doesn't mean he's steadily declining. 2 data points do not a trend make. Squid with 10 bits. Vibranium is in his magnetic boots, so theoretically, I guess Magneto can fuck with Vibranium. I want to see Magneto take on Spider-Man. Yeah.
What he did, The Twilight Zone, was...
No, he liked Get Out. He didn't like Us. I liked Us better than I liked Get Out, honestly, but I know I'm in the minority on that one, so...
A disaster. His sophomore follow-up, Us, was just terrible.
I don't agree with that. Even if you think it wasn't as good, I don't see seeing it as terrible. It's like a dark comedy horror film. I thought it was good.
Can he right the ship? I sure hope so. I'm still genuinely curious how Candyman will work out. Will I pay to see it in the theater? Nope. Will I pay to see it on premium VOD? Nope. Will I watch it? Yep. Because Jordan Peele doesn't want my money anyway. So, that...
Dude, if you're gonna pirate, just pirate. Don't act like it's this philosophical, moral stance you're taking. Just pirate the fucking movie.
That's fine. Now, Ryan Fleck, who directed the first Captain Marvel movie, was not brought back, sorry, it's a Monday, on the second Captain Marvel film. The first was directed and written by filmmaker duo Ryan Fleck and Anna Boden. The blockbuster introduced Carol Danvers to audiences before they eventually appeared in Avengers Endgame, revealing a new type of origin. Nia DaCosta will continue with the sequel that's currently expected to arrive sometime in 2020. I heard it's also going to be set in modern era, like in the 2020s. So that'll be interesting. But then you see Ryan Fleck say, "Congratulations to Nia DaCosta. Can't wait to see where you take this. Anna and I are thrilled for you and wishing you the very best. Higher, further, faster." I mean, what else is he supposed to say? He's not going to be able to be salty about it, although it seems like
he's just being professional, or he might actually be happy for her. You don't really need to read into it.
I don't know if you were super happy about the first film and how it turned out. Is it common that you would replace the director for the second one? I mean, are they going to replace the director?
It depends. They may be taking some of the criticism that, like, the original... Was it directed by a dude? Let me check. Captain Marvel. Director. 2 people, Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. They're best known for their collaborations on film Half, Nelson Sugar, It's Kind of Funny Story, Mississippi Grind, and Captain Marvel. So at least one woman on the directing team. So I don't know. I don't know why. Could be a variety of reasons.
Director for Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn film. Did they just bounce him because they wanted more diversity on set? I mean, you could look at it very superficially and say that that's how it looks. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Disney was unhappy with him. Again, this is another curious decision for a film that, had a superhero that almost really nobody outside of comic book fans knew or cared about. And it still...
That's true for most of the characters in the MCU. Nobody in the general public knew who Iron Man was before Iron Man. They didn't care. But the movie was good and acted by a charismatic guy, so the movie got popular, and so the character got popular. Iron Man is now one of the most popular characters in the world, which is just crazy thinking like 15 years ago that would be the case. But that's the case for a lot of MCU characters. Black Panther. People didn't necessarily know about Black Panther until Civil War and until Black Panther was this huge, like, cultural phenomenon, you know?
Made $1 billion. So, again, maybe more evidence that Disney doesn't think Captain Marvel can stand on its own, but it'll be interesting to see. I think it's going to be a disaster when you have a
You thought the first one was going to be a disaster, and you were wrong. Jeremy, stop making the same mistakes time and time again.
Rookie director. You have a character that we don't really know if she can stand on her own, and if you're putting this kind of pressure on Captain Marvel by saying, oh, she's going to be the new face of the Avengers, people aren't
She'll be one of them, yeah.
going to like that either. So maybe Kevin...
I think most people are fine with Captain Marvel. You got to get out of this, like, weird chud... What's the word I want to say? Echo chamber, where you think the majority of the movie-going public doesn't like Brie Larson or Captain Marvel. Do I think most people in the movie-going public have strong opinions either way on Captain Marvel? Not particularly. I'm sure a lot of people like her. I like her. I think she's cool. But, like, I think Jeremy is legit in such this echo chamber that he thinks the general public, if you went out and asked people, like, what do you think of Brie Larson and Captain Marvel? First of all, most people are going to be like, what? What are you talking about? Who's Brie Larson? Because most people don't, like, keep track of actors and actresses. They just go to movies they want to see. I think majority would be like, oh, I don't know, she's nice, she's cool, like, whatever. Majority of people are not these, like, chuddy weirdos who spend time on the internet obsessing about characters and that they don't like. It's so weird. Like, even I'm weird. Look at what I do every day. I go and I look at people I hate, like Jeremy. It's weird. Jeremy, what you and I do is incredibly weird. We're the weird ones. Stop assuming the general public is the same as you or I.
Kevin Feige should just keep his mouth shut and let them make the movie and avoid risking alienating fans before it ever even comes out, a la Ghostbusters 2016. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon. What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the...
Oh, Jeremy. I don't think you'll ever learn, and that's kind of sad, you know?